Good evening, welcome back everybody, welcome to Virtual Pool 4 Online, and welcome back for one more match in this year's Virtual 9-Ball World Championships. We have the hot seat match tonight, the match between Cobra from England and Real Poland Power, Stubb as we know him, and it's a race to 19. It's going to go at the top of the hour. We're about 12 minutes away. Good evening to Hazad. And this is the main event of the evening. We've also got another match on Thursday night. I believe that one starts at 7:30, half an hour later. And that is the one lost side match between Spectre Dawn and Mal. So the one thing to point out is, for any newcomers, not that there's any newcomers there, not at the moment anyway, but we have 3 players from England in the tournament. 3 remaining players out of the 4 are English. There is 1 from the USA, that is Real Poland Power, that's Stubb. And, well, this is, as I said before this tournament started, this would be Stubb's best chance of winning one of these big events. The fact that it's 9-ball, the fact that it's winner breaks, golden break is on. He's got everything in his favour in order to come through and win this. The problem he has is he's got 3 problems. There's still 3 other guys in this tournament that are well capable of beating him. And even if Stubb does get beaten tonight, he's still going to have a second go. So, I mean, it's not, lose this at all costs or win at all costs. One of the two, either player, whether it be Cobra or Stubb, will both have a second go at getting to this final. So it's not the end of the world. Although it might be for one guy. Depends on how he takes it if it doesn't go his way. But anyway, let's have a quick look at the bracket. And well, this tournament's been, it seems as if it's been going on for a while, but we can look and see Cobra at the top. Cobra got here in his last match by beating Mal 19 racks to 16, a close match. Cobra won out in the end, and Cobra's match before that was against Larry, where he was pretty strong. Larry didn't have a good match and got beat 19-7. And the previous one to that, Cobra beat Mr. Fox 19 racks to 9. And then the one before that, his second round match, was even more comfortable. It was 19 racks to 6 against Mongoose, or VP Monster, as he's always been known to me. And then Cobra's first round match was against Fan or Wanwa. A comfortable win there as well for Cobra by 19 racks to 5. Now Stubb, if we look at him, he's got there in his previous match 19 racks to 11 against Bedhead. Then the one before that was 19-9 against Interchange X. And then the one before that was 19 racks to 3 against Tornado Tam. And then it was a first round match, the fastest of the tournament, about 45 minutes, which was Stubb against Quagmire, 19 racks to 2. And so obviously as it's gone on, it's got tougher for Stubb, but he's up against his toughest challenge in the tournament, against the now favourite for the tournament, it has to be said, Cobra having won the first battle with the other favourite, Mal. Let's go back to the event, because I want to just clarify one thing here in the stats. And if we look at the stats, this is for the bonus 1000 V dollars for the most racks ran in the tournament. Albinario is actually in 43. He's got 1 to count from a match against Interchange X that broke down. He had 1 rack ran in that match that counts on this, so effectively he has a 10 rack lead at the moment. The obvious thing to explain is that Albinario is no longer in the tournament. He is now omitted from the tournament, or eliminated I should say, and so there are only 4 players of course that have a chance of catching him. Now the favourite to catch him would be Cobra, because he's 10 racks behind, and potentially he has 2 matches, well 3 matches to catch that. You know, this match tonight, whatever racks he gets tonight, whatever he might get in the one loss side match, the semi-final match, and whatever he might get in the final, that goes for Stubb as well. Mal is on 30. He has an outside chance, and then the one with the slimmest chance of all is Spectre Dawn. He's trailing away back there in 24. So you can see how the cream has come to the top in this tournament. Cobra on 33, Stubb on 30, Mal on 30, and Spectre Dawn on 24. Now remember that Mal's played 1 match less, I think, than Stubb for a start, even though he's now moved over to the 1 loss side. He's still on a par with Stubb. It's going to be really a battle between those 3. I don't think Spectre Dawn's going to rack up that many racks ran to catch any of these guys. It looks like Cobra, Stubb and Mal are going to be the ones that are competing for that. Good evening to everybody that I've maybe missed while I've been ranting on there. We're still about 5 or 6 minutes to go. Let's look at what else can we look at? Break stats. Well, going by the amount of racks broken, Albinario has now dropped to under 1 ball a rack. He was running along at over 1 ball on the break, and of course with his poor performance in his last match, that's what's done him there. Although obviously he's still at the top of the racks run out. What was the other one I wanted to check? Shot percentage. If we look at shot percentage, Cobra is now in the lead. He's on 85.5, Albinario 84.7, so he's obviously not going to change because he's no longer in the tournament. But Mal, having gone to that 1 loss side, has now dropped down to 80, just under 83, and Stubb is on 82.5. Now Stubb has a chance that he could in theory catch Mal on that shot percentage tonight, but he needs his break to work and he needs to be running racks. You can see that Spectre Dawn is away back there on 80, so it is a tall order for him to improve his stats anymore to catch these guys. So Cobra's out in front, and he's out in front for a reason. You know, all his stats sort of marry up together, that he's probably performed the best in the tournament percentage wise. You can never ignore the stats. Let's go back to the bracket. Good evening to Bedhead, Rotor Monkey, Hair Pig, Hazard was there, he was first in the door, Wit is there. Now I don't know whether Steve's joining us because you know, he hinted the other night that he may well, although he hasn't contacted me tonight to say he's going to join us. I'm in what do you call it, Discord at the moment, just waiting to hear his voice if he turns up. He may well be busy. He may well have an appointment or a meeting or something on today, but if he comes along, he comes along, and if he doesn't, then, you know, that's it. We'll carry on regardless. So, well, how's this match going to go? Well, if you go by the stats, Cobra's going to win it, right? So if you simply go by the statistics, the consistency, the shot percentage, the fact that Cobra's tactical brain may well outdo Stubb in terms of making the right and wrong choices in the match. Stubb may well push the boat out once too often. I don't think Cobra will get drawn into anything like that. So on paper and going by the stats, and everything else, then Cobra will win this by maybe 4 racks. However, when you then add into the equation those things that aren't really controllable, the luck in the brake, running out from the brake, dry brakes, you know, stealing a brake from a dry brake, all of these factors are the things that can turn it in either player's favour. But if you're going by just out and out percentage, Cobra's the winner. Stubb has always got that, you know, that potter's chance to win it, but he's going to stretch himself. We know he will. He'll get himself out of line and he'll push the boat out to keep it going. I just think he needs to temper that to have a chance in at the deep end. So we'll see how it goes. It is very hard to call, but as I say, on paper, I would say there's maybe 3-4 racks in this in favour of Cobra at the end of the night. So good evening, welcome to Moz, welcome to Bill, and welcome to anybody else. I posted this on Pool Is Not Dead on Facebook, so welcome to anybody there who's joined us. This is Virtual Pool 4 Online, and we're in the Virtual 9-Ball World Championships. We're in here for the hot seat match tonight, and we are about 2 minutes away from it. And I might get a bit excited, guys, so bear with me. I'm looking forward to this. I am looking forward to this. So I'm looking forward to every match that's left. They're all going to be great, or they all potentially are going to be great. It's just, I just hope it's a good match. You know, I hope it's not a disaster, and really, you know, a really bad bit of good luck for somebody, if you know what I mean, that's going to turn the match one way or the other. I hope it's well deserved, whoever wins it. That's all I hope for. So we'll get into the tournament tab. The cloth's at the right colour. I think everything else is set right. The volume should be okay. If Steve joins us, he joins us. I'll tab out and unmute myself. I've got myself muted in Discord, but I can easily fix that in 2 seconds. So, good evening to Sid. Well, how many bedhead cuts do you think he's going to get tonight, bedhead? I would imagine a fair few. I think that is Spectre Don's problem as well. Is the fact that he isn't getting the best of shape throughout the tournament, and that's probably proven more by his stats as well. But as I say, anything can happen. The room is up. The cloth is at the wrong colour. I don't know why that's happened, but I'm just about to change it. We're on to blue. We'll see how good it is tonight. It's going to have to be good. Good evening to Popman. Good evening to Semi Pro. And Stubb is letting Cobra stew. We'll have the lag for break. We've got a minute shot clock and a 30-second extension, I believe. Good evening to Miasma. Yeah, here we go with the lag. That's Stubb at the top of the screen, I think, unless he's changed his cue again. But I'm pretty certain that's him because he jabs at it. And Cobra is going to win this by a country mile. Yeah, Cobra definitely was. Good evening to Tommy. Good evening to Bav. Welcome everybody. Good evening to Hairpig. I never noticed you there. So, Cobra, well, that break looked a bit soft. 2 balls going to go in though. And he's going to have to jump the 9. To start, good evening to Cheeky Chico. We've got a fair few in the house tonight. Remember, the restrictions are still on, so you should still all have your face masks on and keep that 1 metre distance. But this table again, straight away is wide open. The 2 ball has gone, so it's all about luck getting onto this 3 from the jump. And he's gone off the table, and Stubb immediately is going to get that bonus that I was talking about. Because this is the type of thing that if you can get in and pinch a rack against the break and give yourself control of the table early on, it's a chance to build up a lead if the break works. So that first unforced error is from Cobra, and the table wide open, and at Stubbs' mercy. He's going to have to be careful down the right side here, and he's got the draw controlled well. That's one of those stunny draws that I'm talking about, the one where you don't dig too deep, where you just go below the equator, but you get the power and you get the draw to work. I think he's just a wee bit straight, so he's had to just check it off the rail. He's fine. So this is a good start for Stubb. The mistake from Cobra, the rack is stolen by Stubb. But this rack is dry. Oh no, it's not. 7 just dropped into the middle, and it's a 1-9 combo, I think, because the 2's locked up. There's no point in trying to pot the 1 and getting the 2. It's a 1-9 combo. He needs to get a hold of the... No, he needs to just be careful with the cue ball here. It's a bit of an awkward line here. He needs to just dig into this. Now, who's that sending me something? Is that a message from somebody? I'll check that in a minute. Something popped up on my phone there. Now, what's he doing? He's going for the billiard. Yeah, that was probably the wiser shot to play. The billiard on to the 9 from the 1 was a good move. And it's 2-0. And straight away Stubbs got the break working. The 2 balls gone as well. But he's no shot in the 1. The 2, 3 and 4 have gone. I thought that was a text coming in on my phone, but there's nothing. Don't know what it was, unless it was a notification or something. Probably a notification from YouTube. Well, no prizes for guessing what should happen here. The problem is that is a wee bit tight. In fact, it's not going to be quite as easy. That 1 ball is too tight to the 5, I think, for Cobra to lock this quite as easy. Let's have a look. That 1 will go into the middle. It's very tight, it will go. Of course, the other issue here is the next ball he's on is the 5 ball. Yeah, it's well played. That was well played. Okay, he might have got a bit of luck getting good on the 5, but that was not an easy pot, being so close in such a tight space to work with. But this is a chance for Cobra to effectively try and get it back on par by stealing this rack from Stubb. Semi-Pro sent me a text, you cheeky bugger. Stop looking at this and continue commentating. I thought it was a text that had come in. I just seen it popping up. Yeah, no PMs please. Anybody that wants to contact me now, you can contact me by text, and if you want my text number, you go to my profile page on Facebook. You can scan the QR code, that will give you my number. And that will get you through to me. So it's 2-1 now. Stobra. I don't know why I was going to say Stobra. Cobra. Cobra needs his break to work. His break has worked as far as a couple of balls in the break, but no shot. Now, the obvious shot here is if he can jump that and catch the one, he needs to get it thin to send it in there, but he needs to also try and get enough pace in the cue ball to run for cover. And the difficulty here is the line that he might take him near that 4 ball, and that's a danger if he's trying to come down here. That would be the worry. The obvious shot is the obvious one he may well play. If he tries to hit it full that side and take the cue ball this way, that might be a better idea, considering he's decided against either. He's just going to play the push. Now, Stubb may well take this bait. Now, remember what I said about this 1 ball. Stubb's looking to hide the cue ball by coming down here, I think, and tuck this 1 ball in there somewhere. But he has to make sure he avoids going anywhere near the 4. If he's going to do that, we'll see what he's thinking. Yeah, my green line was freehand there to start with. It was a bit squiggly. Now, let's see. You know, he's looking about, but he's decided against it. He doesn't want to take the bait. And now Cobra has got the decision to make. Well, I think that if he plays this with a lot of spin, he can get it that way and get it to come this way really tight and still send the 1 ball into here if he can. He needs to get a lot of spin on it to make sure he stays away from the 4. And oh, he's just got there. I mean, he hasn't got full cover, and it's not a difficult hit. But had he been a wee bit more aggressive, he could have got that cue ball right on the line. I think it would have still been not a difficult out though, or a difficult hit, I should say. Well, we've got a fascinating little tactical battle going on here. Who's going to make the first mistake, or more to the point, who's going to take the first risk? Because again, the safety is hiding away from that 1 and getting distance. And this is where your delicate touch comes into play. Remember, that 4 ball is always going to be in play if you're trying to come down to this bottom left-hand side. And Stubbs, I think he's actually played not a bad safety there. That is pretty good. It was good judgment to get that as thin as that so the 1 ball wouldn't run away too far. But it's left it now difficult. Now, the one big mistake that Cobra doesn't want to make is to kick this 1 and catch it half ball and bring the 2 into play. He wants to leave that there if he can. And if he gets this right and he hits it half ball the other side, if he hits this half ball the other side and gentle, he could end up finishing nudging into the 2 and using it as a cover ball. That's too hard, I think. Yeah, that's too hard, way too heavy. Let's have a look. You know what though? It's not a bad result. Okay, might be in trouble in a second or 2, but it's not a bad result. Now that is not so good a shot by Stubb. And again, no immediate worry, because it's so, it's not easy to get good in this too. I think the angle that he's got there, he's got a slight angle he can pinch on this yellow, not the yellow, the one ball, just to get out to here. Well, that's more than far enough. In fact, it'll have to do, obviously. And the 2 is off the rail, and the 4's wide open. So it's all down to getting a shot somehow onto this 3 first of all. I mean, the 3's not a problem, it's just getting the cue ball up the table again. That'll do it. Maybe overdone it slightly. Well, the 6 ball won't be that difficult as long as the cue ball ends up roughly where the 4 ball is, and that's why he needs to get a good angle on this 5. He needs to be, even at worst, if he's down here past the middle pocket, he's still got a shot. If he's here, he's still got a shot. So he's got sort of roughly that area to get into, to get on this 6 ball. That's the zone he wants to get into. And if he can get there, he should be out. And I think he's a bit straight in this 5 as well, by the way. He's going to have to punch this. And the pace is good. The line is good. And he's right on the edge of the zone to make the cut on that 6 ball. And that will do. Now, does he want to tangle running into this 9? He might not have a lot of options here because he's pretty nailed to the rail. And he's run into the 9, but he's okay. He's got the pace good. And it's a delicate little cut, but he'll get this, 9.9 out of 10. Again, he's looking at it more than once, and that worries me whenever a player looks at a shot like this more than once. Because you either see the cut or you don't. And he's played it no problem. So, that early lead for Stubb has been snuffed out. But the break from Cobra is dry again. But, well, the one goes. That four ball is tight. It is tight. Good evening to Spectre. Welcome to anybody else that's joined us. Match has been underway for just about 16 minutes into rack number 5. Early lead for Stubb. Snuffed out by Cobra. He's trying to break the 4 out. He's taking a risk here. And the risk has not worked because he can't see the 4 to pot it. But he's played another good safety. And that immediately again puts pressure on Cobra to not only kick it but get it safe. Good evening to Keith. Well, we've got a fair little crowd in. And the kick. And this looks as if it's going to work out for him. He's got cover by the 6. Now, what could you manufacture here? Well, I reckon that if If Stubb goes all out here and gives this a bash that way, he might be able to kick. The cue ball might nudge the 9 and it might nudge the 7 and it might go in. Stranger things will happen, but everything's very adjacent for something like that to happen. But I think you'll need to be quick to catch it. I don't know whether he's going to be gentle. Yeah, he's played the cut in the billiard. That was excellent. That was an excellent shot. Well deserved, that one. And not easy to judge. But it does give Stubb the lead. It gives him the break. Ball in the break, but no shot. 7 ball has gone. Good evening to Spectre Dawn. Well, we are building up a crowd tonight. Now, what's he thinking here? Is he looking to try and just fall in behind the 8 ball? I'm trying to work out what he's looking at. You know what? Is he looking to see if he can push the 1 past the 4? Somebody, yeah, there's Boris. What is he doing there? Get Boris into the stream. Let's see what he does with this 1 ball. He's just trying to hold behind the 8, and once again, the end result is good. There's nothing there to be hitting on that 1 ball. And the other problem when you look across table is he's certainly not kicking it from the long rail on the far side. He's going to try the jump, and this is very close. I don't know whether he's got enough room to do much with this at all, but the problem is finding a line to try and kick at this 1 ball. If he was going to kick at the 1 ball from that side, he's going to have to hit it there with English to make the angle. He might get lucky and push the 4 in if he did that, but other than that, I don't know whether the jump's going to work. Well, he's got the hit, but he's not got it safe. Well, the problem ball is definitely going to be the 6, unless Stubb starts taking liberties and risks. You know, he can pot the 2, and he can keep the cue ball in the open for the 3. I think he might take a risk off the 4 and try and nudge the 6, and he'll still have a shot in the 5. That might be the plan. It's the obvious plan because the 5's in the open. It'd be really unlucky not to have a shot in the 5. But the 6 is not really good where it is. He doesn't want to be having to try and get low down on this 6 ball. So I reckon if he's got the angle and he's got the line, he'll try and pot the 4 and just nudge the 6 and brush across for that 5 ball. And he's probably perfect enough to do that. I think that would be the sensible move. Little nudge on it. He doesn't want to hit this full ball and lock himself behind the 9. Well, he's gone through the gap. He's nudged the 9. And I don't know whether that's actually improved the situation a great deal, to be honest with you. Because look where the cue ball is. I mean, he's right in the corner. And, well, nudging the 9 is going to leave him with the old long cut on the 6. And he's going to have to come down to the short end of this 8 ball, I would think. I mean, he's going to have to run this short rail, side rail, long rail I should say, down to the short rail to try and get on this 8. Unless he wants to unless he wants to really run it and run right round into the middle of the table again. He's trying to get round to the short end here. He might have overcooked it slightly. In fact, if he overcooks it even more, he's got a better line into the opposite corner just to stun down. for the 9 into the same pocket. But Stubb back with a 3-2 lead at the moment, and this to open up the 2-rack gap again that he had straight away. Again, he's taking his time to make sure that he's happy with the line that he's picking, and he's picked it plumb. Now the danger, of course, if you're Cobra, is that you're going to go 4-2 down, and Cobra does not want Stubb's break to start working, because 4-2 could very quickly end up in 7-2, and all of a sudden there's a mini crisis on his hands. But I didn't notice anything going in, and it's dry, and Cobra's going to have to dig out the jump stick, cut this one into the middle, and if he does and he misses the 7 ball with the line that the cue ball may well be taking, he should have a shot in the 2 if he's got enough running in the cue ball. Let's have a look and see how this looks from his end. Well, the one will go, but I don't think he fancies it. He's looking at other options, but I don't think he can really refuse it either. It's got to be thin, but he's decided against it. Now, does Stubb fancy blasting this? This is the type of bait that Stubb might take here. A really thin blast in this one, and try and cut that in, believe it or not. I think he'll convince himself he can put that in. No, he's not interested. Well, there's a surprise. And is Cobra doing the double bluff, do you think? Now, wouldn't it be crazy if he went for it? No, he hasn't. Neither of them are dumb enough to do it. But a good safety though from Cobra. Good cover. And well, Stubb's going to be struggling to get the hit in this. He's got a very narrow margin from the line he's going to take off the end rail. He has to miss the 3. The 4 ball, of course, is a safety net because it's tied up behind the 8 up the top end of the table. So it'd be very difficult to do anything here with ball in hand. Yeah, he's went the inside of the 3. But like I say, that fact that Cobra's got ball in hand, he's got to make a choice here straight away as to whether he's going to try and run the table, or try and go for the 1-9 combo like this. He's had a look at that, but I mean, again, that's asking an awful lot. He's sort of backed into a corner here, Cobra. What does he do? Does he pot the 1, pot the 2, pot the 3, and try and break out the 4? Now, the 3's not sitting great to break out the 4 unless you were, you know, it's not really a great position. And I don't know whether that was a great safety shot. We'll find out in a minute. It's not bad. So we're going to have another tactical battle here. Another nerve jangler. Whoever's, well, obviously Cobra's the one in the minus position at the moment. And he won the first one to get back on level terms to 2 racks all. It's a question of whether he can do it this time. But who's going to disturb this 4 ball, or this 8 and 4 more to the point? Well, Stubb didn't want to play the 1, and again, Stubb's taken the initiative there by giving Cobra the choice of going for the run out. is putting the ball in Cobra's hands and saying, well, there you go. See what you can do. Now Cobra's seriously looking to lock up behind the 4 and put Stubb onto a second foul. Or he could, you know, if you're going to go all out, then why not leave the angle on the 1 into the middle and draw off the 1 and break the 8 and the 4? You're still going to be in the 2 and you can go for the run out. I mean, why is he not looking at that? I mean, if you just pop the cue ball there, jab that 1 in and draw into the 8 and 4, you've got one option of doing it. He's now made up his mind he's going for 3 fouls. And you're going to have to play a pretty good safety here to extract these fouls out of Stubb. So Stubb's on 1 foul at the moment. And he's got the kick in the 1 and he's got it safe. So that was a bit of a pointless exercise there for Cobra. I don't know why he didn't play the 1 into the middle and play the draw into the 8 to just break open the 4. And he could have potted the 2. And went on to attempt the run out there. That might be a mistake. He was on 2, was he? Well, no prizes for guessing what's going to happen here. And that double kiss has saved Cobra there. Well, what did you guys think about potting that 1 into the middle? I mean, nobody's agreed with me on that shot. The 1 ball was there. He had ball in hand. He could have potted the 1 into the middle, drew that back with bottom and left English to kick the cue ball into the 8 and open up the 4, and he would have still had a shot in the 2. What was wrong with that? You know, I don't understand that he never even considered that shot. This rack could have been over 10 minutes ago if he'd done that. And look where he's ended up now. He's got himself backed in a corner. Hook behind the 6. Easy kick to spin it into the bottom rail. But again, he can't hit this too hard because he doesn't want to do anything that's going to bring the 4 into play. And he's going to find himself probably in trouble in a minute unless Stubb tries to do something spectacular to get this 4 into the game. Well, I'm not so sure what the options are here. I mean, is he going to go all out here to bank this and run into the 8 and 4? Yeah, he's done it. He's took the risk. And he's got the reward. And this rack has backfired on Cobra. Well, you're judged by the decisions you make. I just think that I couldn't see any major disaster happening from running and opening that 4 and 8 himself when Cobra had the gilt edge opportunity to do it. But now it's all worked against him. Stubbs took the risk. He's got the reward. And he's going to open up a 3-rack lead here from it. Well, this is again, there's plenty of room, loads of top, get it running off the rail, you're not going to hit the 9. But again, he's setting himself up and taking his time. Could have done with another couple of ounces of weight on that. But Stubb is going to be even more deliberate with shots like these. He's going to take his time, he's going to get himself set, and he's not going to be just lashing at them. You can tell that straight away. And the pace is good. The line is dead on, and it's 5-2. So now it's a different ball game for Cobra. Now he's chasing, and now he's either going to go into his shell or he's going to start being proactive in getting himself back into this match. But he now can't do that until Stubb gives up the table. And 5 ball in the break. Well, a shot in the 1, but nothing easy. But everything else after that is going to be fairly easy if he can get on the 2. Yeah, that was not an easy shot. Now, this is where Cobra has the chance to respond. And it's, again, I've said this plenty of times at this stage in the tournament, but this is where you're given that chance, you don't miss. There's no room for manoeuvre. He has to get it done. And that little bit of added pressure is factored into this visit here for Cobra. He's got to do it, he knows he has. Trailing by 3, he can't be throwing away these opportunities. Now, what's he like? Plenty of room. Plenty of room to get to the 3. Now, where's he taking the 4? This is actually a little bit dodgy. He's going to have to play the draw. He needs to get into it though, you see. He's just under hit that slightly. Just under hit it a little fraction. And he's gone a wee bit square in this 4. And now the danger is that 9 ball, where that 9 ball's sitting. He has to be careful. He's going to have to get into the cue ball here. So he's jacking up. And he needs to be aware of that 9 ball, and he's avoided it. It'd be amazing how easy it is to just drop behind that. Well, I think he's just got to take his medicine here and roll the 6 in and do nothing else. And just leave this as straight as he can. Maybe a slight angle so he can push through and get back up the table. But he doesn't want to be risking too much with the cue ball here because he's not got a lot to work with. And that will do. Yeah, he did underhit it. He could have been a wee bit higher up the table. Of course he wanted an angle, but he didn't want it to be as square as that. You never want to be looking into a blind pocket if you can help it. You just want that more comfortable angle. Because with that shot there, don't forget it was close to the rail, so he's having to jack up. And once you start jacking up, things can easily go wrong. Especially when you also know that 9 ball's in the line of where the cue ball wants to go. But he's got himself out. He's back to within 2. Needs a ball and a shot though. I didn't hear anything go this time either. And what's more, that one ball is kissed nicely into the cue ball for Stubb. Now, he's going to just drop through past the 5. Drop the 2 in and leave the cut in the 3. And make sure he comes right down the bottom for the 4. I don't believe he wants to leave himself high for a cut in the 4. He's got plenty of room past the 5 to get there. And he should be out. And he should restore his lead immediately from the dry break from Cobra. Oh, where's the cue ball? He's okay. That needs to keep running. That needs to keep going. Well, now he's in bedhead territory with this. It's got to be the bank. Got to be the bank. I mean, look at the area that he had to get that cue ball into. Plenty of room to go on that 6. And it goes. And he's run into the 7. And now, well, the 7 will go past the 8. The problem is you can't see the 8 for the pocket. And it's probably easier, I say easier, to kick it to the rail and push that 8 in. But to try and cut that clean past the 8 is tight. It's difficult to judge when you look behind that and you see the 8 ball against the black of the pocket. You can't get a great guide as to how much room you've really got. Well, it looks as if he's cutting it though. Yep. From what it looks like there. Yeah, he's got it in, no problem. I never noticed where Cobra was breaking from there. I wasn't paying attention, but yeah, it didn't work for him. And if Stubb can get this in, he'll have that comfort zone again. And in goes the 9. The lead is 6-3. But you've always got the feeling that you know, it's not difficult for Cobra to get back into this, but what he needs that assistance from Stubb, and Stubb's getting a ball in the break. And although he's got no real shot this time, he's trying to play the combo, and again he's played it well, but that was always a risk. You know, playing it at the pace with a blocking ball potentially in line. In this case it's a 9 ball. It might backfire on him. Well, he's went for the old blast. Is he going to get lucky? Well, he actually might have got lucky, because that kick on the 8 ball has not done Cobra any favours, because that 6 ball's now a problem. So he's got no problem with the 2 and the 3. Got to get up for the 5. And then the other problem is the 6 got nowhere to go, because it won't go past the 9 at that distance. It's way too tight, and it's awkward to get onto it to play that sort of cut. So He's got a fair bit of thinking to be done here, Cobra, and he might take the risk now. He may well take the risk. Big risk in actually potting this 3, running down, nudging the 8 or the 6 or something, and still having a shot in the 5. Big risky shot. Big risky shot. Now, is that enough? I don't think it is. But he can certainly have Stubb in trouble in a minute or two. Good evening to Mark Cooper. Yeah, you can go to the Virtual Pool 4 website. You can register a new account. You can download the online version. You can try it out for free. You'll have limited availability, but it only costs you $9.99 for a year's subscription. That gets you all the tables, all the rooms. And Cobra's got himself in trouble here. Now, well, these sort of things, when you end up getting yourself into mischief, you know, there's nobody else you can blame. And for this to happen when you're trailing by 6-3, it starts to get you thinking it might not be your night. He's got the kick, but he's not got it safe. Well, that almost went embarrassingly wrong there for Stubb. I think he's right on the tip of that pocket. Let's have a look. Yeah, he's just right on it. I think he's okay, he can get out. Oh, he's overcooked that, has he? Oh, I thought he had. I thought he'd overdone it there. But again, an unforced error from Cobra. And they're beginning to count here now, because the gap is now 4. And now Cobra can't do anything without the assistance of Stubb. And again, Stubb's getting a ball in the break. Couple of balls have gone. We've lost the 4, we've lost the 7. He's got a very thin cut in the 1. And he's ran into traffic. Now, is he going to go for the bank in the 2? Or is he just going to run for cover? No, he's looking for the big cut up the tail. See, that's Stubb taking a risk that he didn't need to take. And he's got away with it. That is where the blood has just come to the boil there. And he's decided to go all out. You know, it might be I mean, if I was in Stubb's corner, I'd be saying it's maybe a bit too early to be racing to the finishing line. He's got a 4-rack lead. You know, a dry break here or there in either favour, but obviously in Cobra's favour. If things start going wrong for Stubb, Cobra's back in the match. But he doesn't want to stick his neck in a line by taking these far-fetched cuts down rails, because he's now conceded control of the table to Cobra. Although it's not difficult to kick at the 2, but Stubb wants to temper his enthusiasm a wee bit. Well, again, Cobra's going to have to work for this, because that 2 ball is fine. Does he want to blast this in and try and stun across the table, or does he want to take his medicine and play a combo? That would be the simpler shot. Not trying to force something too much here. Let's see what he does. The way he's looking at it, he might be... Well, he's playing top in the cue ball. He's looking to run across, miss the 3 and leave himself a cut, and that'll do. And now, with the angle that he's got, he needs to be careful here, because if he's going to come across the table that way, this middle pocket's in danger here. He needs to be careful, because the angle he's got, he could play this with a bit of inside left. But if he goes that way, you'll be amazed at how that pocket could swallow up a ball. If he comes down this side, see, he's right close to the rail. But if he tried to come down this side, he's going to have to jack up. Now, he's not played it with any English. He's run past it. He's overcooked it for the middle pocket, but that was actually probably the safest route. Okay, he's going to have to run up the table. Or he's just going to have to push through gentle and leave a longer shot in the 6. But he's got options, which is what he wants. And the option is just finding a way to get back into this match. Well, let's look at all those people that should be in my stream, but they're all in the room. Who are they all? Oh, we've got Steve going in the room. So he decided not to, but let me have a quick look in Discord. Yeah, I've just shut Discord down. He obviously couldn't be bothered coming in tonight, or he must be busy. He must be taking calls. One of the two. So once again, now that Cobra has eventually won this rack, is he going to have his break working for him? And more to the point, is he going to be going back to his break? Looks like it. But once again though, nothing's gone. And it's left an awkward shot for Stubb, but he's got a good safety on here. You can just brush that one ball to the rail. I mean, he could go all out for the pot, but he's got a good safety. Yeah, this is not an easy shot. Again, he stuck his neck out and he's going to fluke the one. And you know, that's him getting away with that there. I mean, that was a shot that, you know, you play the safety off something like that, but he's gone all out for it. He's got lucky, he flukes it, but he's got no shot in the 2. And that almost went wrong as well. I mean, another ounce on that, he would have left the 2 in the open, but he's got away with that as well. Now, is Cobra going to try and nurse this to the rail and not scratch? Yeah. And well, he's not got cover. And Stubbs maybe looking to try and make an angle. I don't know whether he's just trying to draw behind the 8 here. This is delicate, a little delicate. Yeah, he's actually hit the 8 in the process. But that'll do. But once again, not difficult to kick. In fact, what's happened here? He's actually filled the 8 first. Jesus, what a mistake that was. I thought he actually drew into the 8 there, but he actually hit the 8 first. The game's called it a foul. Unbelievable. Because when you looked at that, where I was zoomed, it looked like he hit the 2, drew and clipped the 8. It did not look that he clipped the 8 and hit the 2. Not in my eyes it didn't, but it doesn't matter. That's what the game called. But anyway, Stubb never saw it, and that's the most important person of all. It doesn't matter what I seen, but Stubb never saw it. And, well, there's a bonus for Cobra. Now, is that going to have any saying on what's going to happen in the next few racks? It looked like it. I mean, you go with what your first instinct tells you, what your eyes shows you. And as far as I was concerned, he pushed that ball up the table and then hit the 8. But that's not how the game's seen it. But it doesn't matter. It's still got to be taken out here by Cobra, and it's not cut and dried yet, especially where the 7 is. And again, he's overhit it. And Cobra's misjudging the pace tonight on a couple of the shots. And of course, even if he gets the 5, he's going to have to go all round the houses here. And this is not a great line to get back onto this 6 ball. He's going to have to jack up and do all sorts here, and I don't think he can avoid what's down table, to be honest with you. He's going to have to try and avoid stuff down table and leave a long cut in this 6, I think, at best. Now he's jacking up, but it's a horrible line, and that was always destined to run into something. And now he's got the added pressure of still trailing by 3. Don't forget, he's had ball in hand here. And he's had ball in hand to run this table, and he's ended up here. And that these type of opportunities can't be wasted. And it's looking like it might be. And he's missed a kiss on the thin edge in the 6, and he's thrown it away. And so the mistakes are coming thick and fast from Cobra. He was given the gift of an opportunity with ball in hand. He's gone for the thin edge in the 6, and he's completely missed it, and he's gifted it to Stubb. Well, Cobra hasn't had a bad match in this tournament yet, but this is it. The way it is at the moment, it's not going well for him. It's self-inflicted damage, a fair bit of this. And all Stubb needs to do is just chew over the bits and pieces that are left here for him, get the job done in this rack. But, you know, that is, you know, for players at this level and at this point in this tournament, if you have ball in hand in a rack, then you have to do it. You can't go messing about getting yourself out of line. It's a big, big fail. And he's now 8-4 behind. Once again, Stubb getting a ball in the break. I think 3 balls gone into the middle. He's going to have a thin cut in the 1. He's going to break out the 5-9 here, because again the angle's perfect to do it. And he'll have a shot in the 2 one way or another. So this rack's over, he said confidently, as Stubb hooks himself behind the 5, I think. No, that won't be a problem. He'll dig out the jump stick for that. He needs to watch the cue ball though. He might not be that keen about jumping over this, but he'll have to resort to that because he can't get enough of the 2. Just watch where the cue ball ends up, because the angle is a scratch angle into that corner pocket. Well, he's jacking up real high, and he's actually missed the pot in the 2. Well, that was not, well, even for somebody like myself who can't jump very well, that was not a difficult shot to actually pot the two. I think the main worry he had was avoiding the scratch. But would you believe it? Look where he's left the two. Yeah, we're going to get a bit of jiggery pokery going on here. So a reminder to any people who've just joined the stream or in the last few minutes or so, we've got this this hot seat match tonight in the race to 19 to see who gets to the final. We've also got the one lost side match between Mal and Spectre Dawn, an all English battle, and that's going to take place on Thursday night at 19:30 British Summer Time. That would be 2:30 PM Eastern Standard Time or 11:30 AM Pacific Time if you want to watch that. Just remember as well, if you don't get to see them on the live stream, you can always watch the reruns on my YouTube channel. Good evening to Mooncake. I've got a specific playlist for this tournament. There are 49 streams, but there are a lot more than 49 matches on it. And that was a great kick from Stubb. And he's plumbing the four, and he's out. And I tell you, Stubb, well, I say he's out, he's got an awkward cut in the four, but his kicking and finding a line to kick a ball is usually pretty good. So he's played a couple of little risky blasts so far in this match tonight, but he's not done a lot wrong, Stubb. All of the things that are going wrong really is going wrong from Cobra's side. And Stubb, all he's doing is just taking advantage of it, which is all you can expect to do. But now, when you are trailing, there's nothing you can do. No matter how good you are, you need the assistance of your opponent. You need something to go wrong for them. And not only that, when it does go wrong for them, you have to capitalise on it. You must take the chance when it's made available to you. And that's still a big ask. Of course it needs a clean, but I'm too bloody working. Too bloody busy working. I said that to myself when I looked at it. I said, look at the filth on that steering wheel. In fact, I'll be honest with you, right? Most of that is probably cigarette ash that hasn't been cleaned. And I haven't actually, as I said, I haven't smoked for weeks now. Weeks and weeks, but that is still residue from times gone by. So Stubb is 9-4 in front and looking good if he plays sensibly and doesn't take risks, because you've got yourself in this position one way or another. It's the old usual, you don't do anything to encourage your opponent to get back into it. Yeah, but what I did was I bought myself, I think it was just after I stopped, I bought a new, what do you call those, the pine cone, the little pine tree shaped things, the air fresheners. I bought a vanilla one and put that in the car to take the stink out of it. And it certainly worked. But no, I haven't wiped the dashboard or the steering wheel mount with a chamois or anything to get rid of the cigarette ash. Well, there you go. Stubbs at it again. He's kicked a 1 in. He's lying nicely on the 2. Now, he's going to have to leave the long cut, and I presume that's the 4 up the table next to the 5. Yes, it is. He's just going to have to leave the long cut. And now he's going to have to run up and down the table. Now he might, I don't know whether he wants to risk putting too much on this cue ball. See, the 5's probably in the way of what he actually wants to do to get onto the 5. Because the line that he's forced to take with the 4 is not great for getting good on the 5. You see, he's putting bottom in the cue ball, but realistically he wants to try and avoid the 5 if he can. I don't know whether he actually can though. We'll soon find out whether he's got enough room. Yep, he has avoided it, but he hasn't avoided the 9, and that's the issue. It was just an awkward line to try and take from that 4 ball to get up for the 5. And now, well, Cobra might have a lifeline here, although Stubb may well line up the bank. And if he gets really lucky and misses it, he may well bank in that 6 with the 5, because the line that the 5 will take will be very close to the 6. Now, is he playing the cut, or is he playing the bank? If he's playing the cut in the 5, he's just trying to push it to safety. Well, now Stubbs should be in trouble here. He should be nailed in behind the 7 and the 6. Now the thing is this is a test of Cobra's nerves here. Does Cobra want to try and do something silly and cut the 5 towards the 6 and 7, or does he want to try and nudge the cue ball in towards the 6 and 7? Because he has to hit it hard enough to get the 5 out of the way. This is a testy shot. He might just go for distance in the 5, but that's dangerous. He's going left side of the 5. Oh, he's trying to bank it. He's got the bank, and he's got a shot in the 6. It was a risky shot. It was brave. Is he going to get the overall reward? Well, I think I would tend to spin this in. Well, he's jacking up. That still gets you there. Now, how good can he get himself? I think he's got to go across 2 rails just to make sure he gets across to be good on the 8, to just drop it in dead weight and hold for the 9. There shouldn't be any issue here at all. Yeah, just get it across the 2 rails. Play it safe. Well, it's a 5 rack lead at the moment for Stubb. And Cobra's break has yet to work because he's not had a break and run, I don't think, or of anything worth mentioning. If it has gone by, I've missed it. But here's his chance to start. And a ball in the break. And he's going to have a shot in the 1. And he's going to have to play this with a fair bit of running. He's got a line on the 1 to pot the 1. And he may well have to, I don't know whether he tries to run down that way, but he's going to have no great shot in this 2 unless he gets this side. But he's going to have to work the cue ball to do that. If he plays it in a narrower line, he's got to miss the 4, and that is an excellent shot. Okay, he's high on the 2, but at least he's got there. And he may well get a bit of luck off the 9 ball here, because he's going to run into it. He needs a bit of luck if he's going to cut this 2 and still have a shot in the 3. And look where the 5 ball is. You know, he's got work to do here. Nothing is cut and dried. With a little nudge from the 9. Where's the cue ball going? Oh dear. Well, I'm going for a 0 cut tomorrow. So I'll be bald. Or bold. Whatever Haz is talking about. But I'm going to have my head skinned at 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. Now, where's the cue ball going again? Well, he's dicing with death here, Cobra, but he's in perfect position. He might have to check this a wee bit with the angle he's got on this. I don't know whether he can run this into the pocket, and actually he might well run round behind the 5. I think that's what he's looking at for safety's sake, rather than trying to nurse this 5 in and stay this side of the 4 and stay this side of the 5. He might go around the corner and take the 5 into the middle that way. That's what he's looking for. The pace looks reasonable. The line looks pretty good. And now he has to make the decision. The little drawback and play the 7 into the same pocket would seem to be the safest route here. Yeah, I'm going for a full skinhead tomorrow. Number 0 all over. In and out in 5 minutes, no messing about. Well, he's the wrong side of the 7. He needed to draw back farther. He wanted to draw back a bit here. So he's just rolling it in. Now he's got a little bit of work to do. And now, you know, the other thing that's worrying him is that 9 ball. He's going to draw to the rail and come out. He's having to work the cue ball. But he's having to dig in here just to punch this in and get that cue ball to the rail and out. And he's played it well. Well, I could do that myself, but I would look such a tit not being able to see the back of my head, not knowing what sort of mess I'm making of myself. So I'd sooner pay somebody to do it. Good evening to Mal. Now Cobra is still not out of the woods. He's back to within 3 and still needing a ball and a shot. And the 5 balls crossing the table, it's gone in. He's going to have a really thin cut in the 1 from an awkward position. The 2 ball is sort of in the open, although the 7 ball's a bit of a sort of annoyance where it is. But again, does Cobra want to stick his neck out here, because this is not easy. But he's not really got a great deal of options for a safety, has he? When you look at this, there's not an awful lot available here. If he gets the cut in this and the pace right, he'll bounce off the rail, back up the table for a shot in the 2. Bit of a pressure shot here for Cobra. Make your mind up time, but he's got to go for it. Yeah, difficult shot. And he ran into the 7 and he had no real shot in the 2 anyway. But it was tough. Oh, Stubb. What's Stubb done here? He'll be kicking himself, because as far as he's concerned, this is a big chance that he's got away straight away here. And now, of course, Stubb not got a lot of choices here in how he can get down to this too. But I'll tell you something, he still picked a line, he still got it, and he's given himself half a chance. He hasn't got it safe, but the fact that he's hit it, he's still in the rack. It's all up to Cobra to get the job done. Every visit by Cobra now, until such times as he gets back on par, he's always under pressure to deliver. He has to mend the damage a bit quick here, and there's no time like the present for doing it. He can't let Stubb get away any further, and he can't keep making those little errors. Well, I certainly wasn't expecting Stubb to do that and lock himself out there. I'll grant you that one. That was the last thing I thought Stubb would end up doing. But like I said earlier there, I mean, there's nothing Cobra can do until Stubb starts doing him favours. And, you know, if you're in Stubb's corner, you tell him, you know, do everything sensibly. Don't do anything silly. I mean, at that distance, it was maybe difficult to get a lot of control in the cue ball at that distance, the shot that Stubb played, but to find himself completely locked out was a bit unexpected. But Cobra looking to steal another rack here. Now, what's the safest way to play this? The safest way is just to run through the top rail, side rail, and up by the middle pocket, high enough that you're looking good in the 9. And that'll do. So, once again, Cobra's asking for a ball and a shot. It needs to be a wee bit fairer to him to give him that opportunity to warm up and get a run on. But this time, nothing's doing, and what's worse than that, he's left a 1 on and a run out there for Stubb, and that's the punishment that you have to take when you don't get that ball in the break. You don't get the shot, and worst of all, in comes your opponent with the table at his mercy and a guaranteed run out. And your hard work to get back to within 2 is just shot down in flames. Now again, just got to be careful here to get out. He's found a gap. But I think we're clutching at straws here, looking for problems for Stubb. Now, well, this is a little bit dodgy because the 7's in play here. He needs to take evasive action. This is where you could end up getting yourself into a whole heap of trouble for no reason whatsoever. And he's avoided it. It was just getting dodgy there. Been very adjacent to the 7, but he's clear. And again, the line that he takes on this 7, again, he's left it high. And the reason for that is he didn't want to take a line lower on this 7 where he was going anywhere near the rail, near that 9 ball. And that was a good line to take, thereby avoiding any possible collisions with the 9. And, well, that's the worst sort of punishment after you've just saw yourself digging yourself out a rack through Stubb's mistake. You go ahead and you run the rack, and then you have nothing but a dry break next rack. You leave the table wide open shot in the 1, and you watch your opponent come in and just run the table. It's the most infuriating part about winner breaks. And Stubb gets a double kiss, and the one ball that goes into the middle. And, well, what's he going to try? Is he going to try the bank? Yes, he is. All out for it. Oh, where's the cue ball going? Well, would you believe it? He's going to have to jump that. And the other problem is, when he jumps this, even if he pots the 3, is he going to be able to get the cue ball out in that gap between the 8 and 9 to at least see the 4? There may well be room. A little brush off the 8. And now with this shot here, I think the line's good enough that he can punch this in. He can certainly avoid the 7. He can even take the risk of overhitting this and coming down and running into the 8. But the problem is, he's going to have to play some sort of combo. But if he overhits it, it's not a problem. The worst that's going to happen is he should run into the 8 ball. Depends on whether he wants to put any spin in this whatsoever or just let it run. He looks as if he's just running it, but he needs to get the pace in it though. If he doesn't, if he ends up here, he's leaving himself in trouble. Wants to get this running. Like I say, overhitting it's not a bad shot in this situation. You want to get there though. And that's actually a good pace. That is actually pretty good. Okay, he's making a bit of a blind combo here. But if he takes his time as he has been doing, and just looks at the line where he wants to push that 5 ball, he just wants to have a line across here, there, and he'll chip that 6 in no problem. That's all he needs to focus on, and make. He has to imagine that that's the pocket there. If he imagines that's the pocket and sends the 5 to that line, he's got to pot the 6, and that's the only thing that can go wrong, is that. But now he's got the bank onto the 8, and that's not quite as easy because there's enough room for that 5 just to kick there and just collide with the 8 to the side rail. So it's not all over yet. But this is vital for Cobra's survival. And again, trying to get back into it, and Stubbs trying to squeeze it past the 8. There was never going to be the room there to do it, and Cobra has his chance. Well, anything but dead straight, so he's going to have a little angle. Now again, he's got the choice. The simple choice is coming back off this 7 and just stunning up the middle of the table. That will do. And a gentle little draw. You can play one of these punchy little stun draws where you're just a fraction below the equator, but you have the pace in it just for that stun draw to work like that, where you don't get that big deep draw. Those are the shots that a lot of players have to master. So it's back to square one again. If you count the beginning of the last rack, we're back to within 2, and he's still looking for a ball and a shot. He's had no consistency tonight at all when he has had the break. He needs something like that to happen to get this back on level terms, and it hasn't happened yet. He's been trailing all the way, and chasing Stubbs' tail. Oh, he's going to take, what is he? He's away for a break. Right, I've just missed the chat there. Well, while he's away for a break, let's have a look at the pack and see if we can find anything. Let's get right over the 9 ball. There's a bigger gap between the 8 and the 6. Big gap between the 6 and the 9. And a big gap between the 6 and the 7. And, well, that's as close as you get to touching in VP4. Excuse me. And it doesn't matter how much you study the rack, Cobra still come up dry. And once again, it's deja vu. He's came up dry. He's got back to within 2 and he's left Stubb straight in on the 1 ball. And Stubbs overhit that by quite a margin. Oh, the little brush off the 9. Takes all the pace off the cue ball. He's got a shot in the 3. And that 4 ball has plenty of room to get past the 7. Not a problem. But look at what sort of line he's got in the 3. Well, he's just going to have to probably just nurse this in and just leave it long. And the angle he's got now, well, the potting angle is going to run towards that 7. Now, what he doesn't want to do is miss the 7, so he's not taking that risk. That's why he's stunning it in. Because if he just ran through and played it half-heartedly, he could have easily missed the 7 and gone to the rail and went behind it. So you don't do anything daft like that. Well, whenever I think he's at least 3 where he's won a rack, and then when he's had the break, and out of those, 2 of them he's left Stubb in the 1, and Stubbs going to go on to win this rack again to open up that lead. So Cobra isn't getting his break working tonight, and it's telling big time. But like I said earlier, if you're going to have a bad match, then you might as well have it in this one, and at least still have that second bite at the cherry. You know, you're still going to have that second chance. But it ain't over yet. But it is a 3 rack lead restored by Stubb. And Stubb's doing, Stubb's certainly adding to his racks ran total with those opportunities he's got. And now it's Stubb's turn to come up dry. But once again, Cobra's not getting he's not getting what he would like, a nice easy roll in to start him off. You don't want to have things like this to start you off, because you know fair well, if you don't get this 1, Stubb's running out. Look at the table. I mean, this is just, you can't miss the 1. And now he should be running out. He's got the table at his mercy. This is what he needs to get back in. But even if he wins the rack, he's going to be sitting for the 3rd time in a row with the next break, not looking to come up dry and looking for a ball and a shot. And is he going to get that bit of luck change? Is it going to happen for him? That's the fascinating thing about this game. You just don't know. At some point, something might turn. It could happen any time, or it could happen too late. Well, again, just get right down the bottom of the table for safety's sake, and that way you've got a good angle to get on that 5. And that's perfect. Absolutely perfect. And then, of course, again, you make sure you leave yourself the higher angle in the 6, and that way you can get up the table and down to the bottom end, or this end as we look, to get yourself on the 7. So you've got all the room in the world. And what you do with this is make sure you overhit it, and what you don't do is something daft and leave yourself here on the 7. You get yourself right down here and overhit it. You know, he's actually done his best to do the numpty shot there, believe it or not. I mean, that is not where you want to be sitting. You just got to check this up to try and hold it off the rail now. You want to overhit it down to here into this big 3.5 foot area that you had to work with, and don't leave yourself doing little tweaky shots. But anyway, he's got out, and is he going to get a break and a shot? The answer to that, folks, is coming up right now. We're into rack number 21. They're all moving. They're not heading towards pockets though. And, well, I bet you Stubb can see this one ball. Yes, he can. And yes, I think he'll be going for the bank. I don't think I've much doubt about it. He's gone for it. He's missed it. He's nudged the 5. And this time, Stubb hasn't got away with it. And is Cobra going to take the advantage? Now he's in a bit of a dilemma as to what he does here. Does he pot the 1? I think he's got to take the 1 up table and avoid the 5. I don't think he wants to be messing with the 5 and trying to just cut the 5 in for the sake of potting the ball, because that wouldn't be the right thing to do. He can pot the 1, get out into the table, take the 2 long, and then he has to be thinking about what he's going to do with the 3. That's a dodgy choice he has here. Oh, he's done the big stunt, and he's rattled the 1. Oh, and that's got to feel like a chance gone. That is a big chance gone. But he had to get over for the 2. I think that's a big miss there by Cobra. He's just shot himself in the foot. But he had to play the pace and get the right shot to get onto the 2. If he just done something silly like tried to nudge off the 1 onto the 5 and pot the 5 for the sake of potting it, he'd no guarantee where the 1 ball was going. But well, Cobra's chance may well have gone. It may well have come and gone in this rack. Now, what ball's that that's down there? Is that the 8 ball? That's the 8 ball. The 4 balls there, 8 balls on the rail, I think, pretty much. Dodgy little cut in this 2 ball. And got to watch what he's doing with the cue ball as well to have a shot in the 3. And that's why he's missed the 2. I mean, the 2 was not the most difficult cut in the world, but the problem is, you're not just playing to pot the 2, you're playing to get yourself half decent on the 3, and he got that part of it right. And it was not then an easy shot when you take that into the equation. So, Cobra's at the table. Is he going to get out of jail? I love the arguments that it causes when, especially in the chat, when we all see shots differently. Me especially, I see them entirely differently from some things that some people play, but It's great how it creates arguments of how he should have played this shot, or what he did wrong with that shot, or whatever. I mean, I don't think he should have messed with the 5 in the middle. I think he played the right shot. Whether the execution was right is debatable, but he certainly didn't want... See, what you don't want to do is just play shots where the outcome is not predictable. And the outcome was not predictable by interfering with that 5 ball in the middle pocket, because you just don't know where the 1 ball was going to end up. But like I say, you know, it's all past history now. It's all a question now whether he can actually back himself up and get the job done here. Now he's got to play. He's surely got to play this the draw stun across for the 6, or is he going to chicken out and roll through? He looks as if he's going to roll through. No, he's playing the stun. But you see, he hasn't got into that cue ball enough for my liking, and that's why he's ended up there. And this is testy. This is testy. I don't care what anybody says. He's nailed to the rail. He doesn't really have to worry about the 7 as such, because he's going to have a decent line in the 7. But he's got that little testy 6. Well, he's actually overhit it. He's overhit it by quite a margin. The touch is too heavy. And now he's got a lot more to do with the cue. But it's amazing when you get that. It's been said 1,000 times. When you get out of line on that 1 shot, that is where you're heading for disaster and trouble, because the next one gets even worse and you're having to work that bit harder, and that's why he's missed the 7. Just incredible how easy it is to get yourself in a hole. And his chance has gone again for the 2nd time in this rack, and Stubb can retrieve the situation with the bank. And in it goes, and Stubb's in no mood for giving you any more chances, Cobra. That may be a heavy price to pay, because the gap is going back to 3. He can't get any closer than 2. That's how it's been right from the start. Well, he did get closer than 2. He got it back to all square, having gone 2-0 down at the start. He got back to 2-all, but since then he's been chasing after Stubb's tail. And again, that was another one where it was the unforced error that caused him the problem. And it all started, remember, the commentator's eye is never wrong. It started by getting himself stuck in the rail on a square 7 ball, where he had to cut it, and he overhit it and left himself awkward in the 8, and that's where it all went down the you know what. And Stubb, what the hell did he forget? Surely he forgot to call the push out there. Am I just missing something here? What the hell did Cobra try there? Well, whatever he tried or whatever he's seen, he hasn't got a ball to rail, and he's handed ball in hand to Stubb. Well, that was strange. That was really strange. I don't know what he had in mind there, because I was waiting for the push out to show the screen. But anyway, Stubb's got himself in trouble again on this 2 ball. Now again, this is a shot where you play a safety. You send that 2 ball onto the rail and you send it down there to the middle of the end rail if you can. He's going all out for the bank. And again, that is an unnecessary risk by Stubb. That was silly. That should have been a long distance safety shot in a 2 ball, and he's just handed a gift of an opportunity. I'll tell you something, see if this match turns. That shot there that Stubb took on is again all out for the finishing line too soon. Sticking your neck in the block, and what I said earlier is you don't want to be giving any encouragement to Cobra to get back in it, and Stubb is just falling into the trap there when he had a much, much easier safety shot. And he doesn't want to sit here at the end of the night thinking about how he let Cobra back in it. If Cobra's brake starts working, Stubb might be the one paying a heavy price because of that attempted bank there. He's had a dodgy cut he attempted earlier on. He's had a couple of shots he's had blasts at that he shouldn't really have been going for. You know, it's if you have him down, keep him down. That's the rule of thumb in any billiard game. Well, put it this way, any sports game at all. Once you've got your man down, don't let him get back up. I think he's a bit straight in this 5, by the way. There's a slight angle, but he has to make sure he missed that 8 ball. And this is another little delicate one, just to stun the 6 in. Make sure you don't run into the 8. He's got the room to avoid it. This is just a little testy one. But the thing is, you've got to play this 100% this shot. You've just got to play the little jabby shot so that you're cutting that and you're just spinning away from the 6. See, he's overhit it to make sure that he's going to get the other side of the 8. He didn't want to play a chicken out shot. And that was the right shot to play. If you're ever in doubt, don't ever do the half-hearted shot where you're not really want to commit yourself. You've got to be committed. And that was the shot to play, is the draw to the rail with pace so that you're coming out and across for the ball into the same pocket. Well, here we are again. How many deja vus have we had? This is the 4th time. 2 racks behind. He's going for the break on the left side again. He's not going as close as Albinario was to the rail, but he's going to give it a shot. Ball across table middle pocket. That is the Albinario break. The 1 ball has gone in. And he's got no shot in the 2. Oh no, the 9's gone in as well. I missed the 9. I'm getting excited. The 9 ball's gone in. Was that the one that went in the middle and the 9 went in one of the corners? And he's got a ball to break again. And the 2 balls hanging. And he's got no shot in the 1. Or has he? It's back to within 1. And the 2 ball is there. And how does he get this safe? Does he try and... I don't think there's much he can do with this. I think he might just try and run straight onto this 1 ball. I don't think he's got a lot of options. He's right over the 9. He needs to watch he's not miscuing this cue ball. I don't think he's got anything he can do than try just to roll and play for the double kiss. Well, he's going to get put back in here in a second, I would think. If he's just going to pot the 9, he may well be playing his next shot right now. I don't think Stubb will be interested in that. I certainly wouldn't. Unless Stubb thinks he wants to play a little sneak around the corner. The problem with this, if Stubb does that, I'll tell you straight away, if Stubb done that, well, he's not interested. He's already pushed it back to Cobra. I didn't think he would. Now Cobra, I don't think he's got the room even to try that. There's a danger of a double kiss here. If he tried to sneak around behind the 8, there's not any room for manoeuvre and he could get a double kiss. He's trying it. He's avoided it. And he's done what Stubb should have done there. Stubb refused it and didn't like it. And now Stubb has got to kick. And Cobra has won that mental battle there. It might not look like anything major, but he has won it because Stubb had the opportunity to play the shot that Cobra played and he refused it. And now Stubb's the one that's in trouble because of it. Now, again, we've seen how good Stubb is at kicking. This is not a difficult kick. If he gets this really good, he'll knock the one in. He's got to go over that 4-ball though. And that's a fair distance from where the cue ball is. And he's got to have the pace in the cue ball when it gets to the one. That's the other issue, is the distance the cue ball's got to travel. I don't think he likes it. Yeah, he's not convinced he can get there. He's going to try it. This is even more difficult. He's trying to spin it off the end rail with English. Yeah, it was so difficult. But he's got the cue ball running and he will take that. That is a cracking outcome. Cannot argue with that one. He's got the kick safe. So this is the closest Cobra has been since he got the match all square at 2 racks all, which seems an awful long time ago. And now Cobra is the one that's going to have to kick and hope. I don't think he'll scratch off this because there's not enough room behind the one. He can certainly hit the rail and hit the one. He needs to hope he gets lucky though. Oh, he's missed it completely. Well, that's unexpected. I mean, unless there was a problem with that middle pocket that was maybe interfering with the line, that's probably the reason why he maybe missed the 1-ball completely. But that's a bad miss because it wasn't difficult to hit. It was actually quite a big target, but it may well have been the line that he had to take here to get to the one that caused the issue. And now it's all wide open. Well, Stubb is going to have to use the jaw and the rail, I think. No, he's trying to go the opposite side, which was clever. Again, it's you have to say it's one that's gotten away from Cobra. He could have been all square. Here's the right side of the 5. Just a nice angle. I think he can stun off the 5. He's running at the rail. Well, we know the rule with this one. You go left or right side and you make sure you get down by the middle pocket. He's checked it inside. He's just short of where he would ideally want to be because he's now potting into a blind pocket, but he's bound to get it. But this to restore the 2-rack lead. And again, how many times during this match has Cobra had the chance and it's gone? He's had far too many of those, and that's another one to the count. It's now 13-11 and the 5 ball's going in the break, and it's a 4-9 combo every day of the week. That is dead set, but Stubb's going to have to come up with a good cut in the 1 and the 2 goes. So it all hinges on this shot here, because we know the 4-9 is going and that 1's going in. So it's the 2 and draw into the gap between the 6 and 4, I think. Oh dear. Well, I don't know whether he wanted to get that, because he could have easily ended up behind something there. And he's got away with it. But it's going to be another break and run for Stubb. And just when Cobra was breathing down his neck, Cobra's self-inflicted damage in the last rack has cost him big time. It's cost him the rack, and it's cost him a breaking run in the following rack, and that's even more painful. Needs to watch the cue ball here. And so now Stubb is racking up the racks ran to his total, and that's another one, and the lead is now fully restored back to 3. And now we're running out of racks here for Cobra because Stubbs now found his break. A couple of balls in the break, a long one on the 1 and a 2 ball in the middle, and he should be out. And that is a very, very costly unforced error by Cobra. It's costing him severe damage at the wrong end of the match. Oh, the big stunt. Now, what does he do here? Because he doesn't want to be meddling with the 9 ball, because the shot he would want to play is stun the 3 in and draw across for that 5. That's the shot you would play if the 9 ball wasn't there. But with the 9 ball being where it is, it then has you in a dilemma as to how you're going to get around it. Oh, he's played it well. He's took the risk and he's judged the pace well. That was a dangerous shot, but he's played it perfectly. Absolutely perfectly. Oh dear, well, commentators curse. What the hell happened here? Because I was looking at the chat. He has missed a sitter on this 5 ball. Unbelievable miss. Oh, and he's left Cobra awkward though. But how the hell did he miss that 5 ball? Well, has he seen the finishing line too soon? Has he seen the finishing line? I think Stubb has taken his eye right off the ball there. But this is not easy for Cobra because it's right in the middle of no man's land. You have got a choice to make. And he's overhit this. Oh, he's got a brush off the 8. And that brush off the 8 has still not made it good. It's just taken a wee bit of pace off it. Well, that was an incredible miss by Stubb. Well, Cobra just simply has to find a way out. And he needs to find a way to get on this 8 ball where he's not letting the cue ball take an angle into the middle pocket. He needs to keep running. He needs to keep going, and that will do. And this is a get out of jail card if ever you've seen one, because there's no way in this earth that Cobra should ever have been back at the table. Not a single person that's watching this match would ever have thought he would have missed that 5. Big mistake by Stubb, but you know, it's getting now to not quite the point of no return for Cobra, but he immediately needs the ball in a shot. He's back to within 2. Is the match turning on that 5 ball? Oh, the 8 ball's going to go. And this 1 ball is going to have to be down the rail onto the 7. And you don't know where the 1 ball's going to finish up. And the chances are that that may well hit the 5 before it gets near the 7, and it can just end up in a mess. I don't know whether it's easier to try and run off the 1 run the cue ball to the rail and try and nudge the 7 in, but you could end up hooked behind the 5. It's not a pretty table. You see, there's the odds of what was going to happen there. Something was going to end up behind the 5. Doing it that way, it's the 1 ball. And the other way would have been the cue ball. Well, let's look at the odds. I mean, this is the kick is on. The line is there for the kick. Even if you go to the rail, you're still going to hit the 1. There's a big margin of error there. He's got to go for it. He's got to go for the kick and the 1. There's no option. I don't know whether my line's the right line, but it's got to be along those sort of lines to get there. I say the margin of error is going to the rail and then hitting the 1 like that. And he's at least left himself a cut on the 2. It's going to have to get lucky to get on the 3. Let's be honest. He's going to have to thin this and just hope he gets on the 3, because he's no guarantee really of what's happening with the cue ball. He just knows the cue ball's going up and down. He can only focus on the pot. He needs to get lucky. He might have got lucky here. That is not a bad shot. In fact, that is pretty damn good. I mean, he couldn't have asked to be sitting any better on this 3 ball. But he's got to be careful again. He's got to drag this 3 in as if he's trying to draw the cue ball into this other corner pocket. But that's not what he's trying to do. He's trying to avoid going behind the 9. He's just trying to nurse it in. And that was the safest way of doing it. He's now going to have to punch the 4 and get around the angles. Plenty of room. But that was a cracking shot that he played. And it was never guaranteed he was going to be on the 3. But he just had to get the line up and down. He judged the pace absolutely perfect. And he's going to have to punch this in again. And again he's going to have to get high on the 6. He doesn't want to be square. That'll do, because that gives him a choice. He can run stunt to the rail. He can draw off it. Whatever way he wants to be playing the 9 into the same pocket, he has a choice. And don't forget how this has come about. A miss by Stubb has gifted the chance for Cobra. Is it a major mistake by Stubb? Well, we're about to find out as the match progresses. Good evening to Kyron. There's a name I haven't seen before. Don't tell me that's another dry break. Did something go? Oh, the 1 ball has gone. The 8 ball has gone. Can he see the 2? I don't know whether he can see enough of it. No, he can't. Now, what do you do here with this one? I mean, the shot to play is to cut it to the rail, get it to the end rail, and maybe check the cue ball, because he doesn't want the cue ball to go that way. He wants to check the cue ball to come this way. He's got to make sure he's certainly not running. Yeah, that's the sort of line, but he doesn't want to scratch. He'll take that. He'll take that one. Well, Stubb has to be careful with this, because he can only see half of the 2 ball, and the half that he's playing is going to take the cue ball near that 9 ball if he gets it too thick. So if he's going to go around the angles and try and get back up to where he is now, he has to be sure of it. This could go wrong. Yeah, this is a dangerous shot here. He might want to try and... Can he see enough of that to actually punch it? No. I don't like the line that he's taking here, mainly because I don't know what he's trying to do. You know, he would want to skim off the right side, but I don't think he can risk getting it thin enough to try and avoid going anywhere near the 9, and that is not the best outcome. That is a poor shot by Stubb, and Cobra has his chance. And if he can get on this 3 ball one way or another, it doesn't matter how he gets there, he just wants a shot in it. He should be out. Well, he's going to have to go. Oh, this is, again, does he want to risk going forward? I think there's enough room to go forward here. He'll still be fine. I think he's okay. Yeah. You just run this 3 in. Stay on the right side of the 4. And of course he's got plenty of angle on the 4. Got to be on the 5 and got to be out. And that miss by Stubb, it could come back to haunt him big time. Because he's also played a duff safety shot there. And the mistakes are happening at the wrong time for Stubb, because this is the encouragement that I talked about earlier. You don't want to start giving your opponent, when you've had him 5 racks down, you don't start doing things that gives encouragement. And Stubb is going to have to man up now, because unless Cobra does something amazingly crazy with these last 3 balls, he's going to be right on Stubb's tail, neck and neck with the break. But Stubb, if this goes pear-shaped for you, you won't be needing reminding what caused it. We've all witnessed it. Well, this looks so easy, but you've got to make sure you don't run this 3 rails and run into the 9. That's the one thing you don't want to do. Yeah, he's taking evasive action. Again, the sensible shot, because the reason for that is he can see the problem. And there's many a player would have run that 3 rails and ran straight into the 9 and ended up the usual creek without a paddle. He took the evasive manoeuvre, and that was to take that line out the equation altogether and spin it to the rail. And now he needs the break and the shot. Oh dear, well, disaster for Cobra. He scratched, table wide open, and Stubb's now been handed the chance. Well, the match is on a bit of a knife edge now, because Cobra's not necessarily done all the hard work, because he's been given that chance twice by Stubb. He's got himself into the match. He's got it all square, and what has he done? Straight on the break, he's scratched and given Stubb ball in hand to run out. Well, there might be another twist and a turn in this match yet, but we've seen enough. I think we've seen our fair quota of them. I'm looking for problems here to see where Stubb's going to go wrong. Well, this is the one he's got to be careful with, because he's got to dig into this cue ball so that he can stun down. He's taking care of that one. And the other thing is, he doesn't want to be potting this 7 at an angle where he's running into the 8. You don't want to be doing any of this. When the balls have all got spaces between them, you don't want to be potting a ball where you're having to run into another ball for no reason whatsoever. You've got to get on this side of the 7, and he should be okay for that. And that way you're not doing something silly that involves colliding with another ball that can end up putting that ball dead in a rail or something. And that's fine. Well, Stubbs doing again all that's been asked of him. Cobra's made the fatal mistake in the break, scratches in the break, and it's another rack ran for Stubb. And he's added a fair few of them tonight, I think. But none more vital than this one to go back into the lead by 15 racks to 14. We'll have a look at the stats at the end of this match before you all go running away. That's breaking, that's tilted slightly left, that rack. Stubb breaks in rack number 29. Something's dropped, something else has dropped. And he's on the 1. And suddenly Stubbs' break is working again and he's out. And it's going to be 2 racks to the good. Oh, Cobra. If only he hadn't scratched in the break. But that's the difference. The margins of winning and losing are extremely thin. Just those odd errors, those odd mistakes. The mistake from Stubb lets you back into it. You've climbed the mountain almost, and then you scratch in the break, and then you watch Stubb break and run to take a 2 rack lead at the business end of the match. Well, again, this is a wee bit testy, because you've got to go through with a shot to get back over for this 9 into the same pocket. So you can't go half measures. You've got to go right through with the shot, get that cue ball moving. And that's almost there. Well, Cobra now is back to about the 4th time or more relying on Stubb helping him out. And although Stubb's got a couple of balls in the break, he's got a tough 1 ball. He's going all out for the cut. Again, he could have played the safety, but he just feels he has to go all out for it. And it's again with a 2 rack lead. He didn't have to do that. It's another chance for Cobra to win a rack. It's another chance for him to get control of the table. It's another chance if he can run the rack and break and run to square the match. This is how vital your shot choice is, your decision making at this point in the match. And this has got to be punched in as well. And also we've got the problem with the 5 ball. So this is not simple. It's got to be a difficult, I mean there's a difficult distance between the 5 and the 6 here. And not only that, you've got to get good on it. I don't know whether Cobra wants to risk that. Or whether he wants to try and somehow get low in the 5. You're doing what you're doing what we do in chat. Should have, would have, etc. Oh, aye, this is what it's all about. This is what the mystery and the fantasy is about: winning and losing. The shot choices, the things that go wrong, the scratch that Cobra's done, the missing the 5-ball that Stubbs done, the fact that Stubb felt he had to go for the pot in the 1 when he shouldn't have. He should have played it safe. He's trying to win the match. There's 3 times he's tried to win the match when he didn't really need to. And each time he's given Cobra that chance to get back into it. This is what I keep saying about, keeping everything under control. If he had got the 1 and he runs out, he's a hero. But you've got to err on the other side of things. You've got a lead. It's about maintaining your lead and protecting it and not giving encouragement to the opponent. But this is not what you want as a combo at this stage in the match. No way do you want this. This 5 ball's coming off the rail and going out and you don't know where it's ending up. But you hope it ends up out far enough, or you play it gentle enough like that. Absolutely perfectly is the answer, to leave yourself nicely on the 5 and a roll in the 9 in the middle. Well, here is the biggest break of the match so far about to happen. Back to within 1. Stubbs been unmuted. And Cobra with a rack that's going slightly right. The 1 is further to the right than the 2 at the back of the pack. And breaking from the middle, bringing the ball up the table. Everything's running, but nothing's going. And again, the worst possible outcome. The 1 ball wide open and Stubbs out. And it'll be a 2-rack lead in a minute. Unbelievable. Cobra can't buy a ball in a run when he needs it. And each time, I mean, there's at least, that's got to be 4 racks now where Cobra has broke dry, and each time Stubbs came in and ran out, I think. If you look back in the match, somebody can jot down the amount of racks. I'm counting 4 where he's broke, but not only that, the fact that Cobra's broke dry is the fact that Stubbs always been in the 1 ball, and I think he's pretty much ran them all out with all of these opportunities he's had, and he's going to run this one unless he does something silly. If I'm going to be critical of Stubb, the only criticism really is the fact that he's pushed the boat out a couple of times when he doesn't need to push the boat out. He's the one that's winning. He's just tried to take on that bit more than he really should have. But I think the thing that's balanced that out is the fact that Cobra's not had a break. And Stubbs took those risks, which have then given Cobra racks. There's not been a lot in it, but if Cobra's break was working for him, the score would be probably a lot different than this. But there's still a chance for things to happen, but not much room for manoeuvre now for Cobra. He's going to be trailing by 2. Well, this is again a dodgy shape on this 8. But you've got to be committed again. When you're playing this 8 ball, you can't go nursey in the 8 ball. You've got to, he's right on the rail. So you've got to make sure that you run this 8 ball in. Is he trying to just nurse it right to the pot? I think he is. I think he's just trying to... Is he trying to... No, he's finding a way to jack up now, because you're going to have to punch it in. Yeah. Now, how tight is that? Let's have a look. Oh, he's well off the rail, that's fine. But it is a 2-rack lead, and Stubb is 2 racks away from his spot in the final. Oh, this looks dry. Where's the 9 ball going? Where's the 6 ball going? Oh, something's went into the middle. I think the 5 ball's gone. And he's on the 1. Oh, he's on the 1. 2's wide open. Now, he's got too much angle in this 2. He might play the billiard off the 3 onto the 9. I don't know what he's looking at, but he's certainly going to be hard pushed to get good on this 3 from this angle in the 2. He might just cut the 2, go across table, and depending where he finishes on the 3, if he can get to it, it'll just be the 3-9, and that's fine. Couldn't have played that any better. And it's another break and run for Stubb. And he's certainly added a fair few of these to his tally. He's chasing down Albinario. And now he's within 1, and the lead is 3. Well, I think we said at the beginning that on paper, going by the stats and everything, there was like 3 or 4 racks in this in a win for Cobra. But again, what I also said is that doesn't take into consideration what's going to happen on the table in terms of how good the break is, what good things and bad things happen in the break, and we've seen good evidence of how that works out tonight, because Cobra's not had it. Stubb has feasted off the dry breaks from Cobra, and well, Cobra's in last chance saloon now. And of course, the inevitable problem is that the 5 ball is going nowhere, and that 6 ball's off the rail as well. So it is an ugly position that he's got to have to deal with. I'm going to need a coffee after this. Well, we started at 7 PM tonight. We're 2¼ hours into this match. And Cobra, I think, has made up his mind. He's going to have to try and punch this 5 onto the 6. He's going to have to chip it so that he's chipping the 6 in. That's the way it's going to have to be. Now he's got enough room, I think, just to get to the 5, just to get to the line that he needs to push it and get that 6 nudging towards the pocket. Yeah, but how good's he going to be in the 5? That's the question. Well, he's got half a shot. And again, cue ball, he needs to hit it with pace, get it across the table, off the rail and back out. Cross the table twice for a sight and a 7. But still making the cut on the 5. It needs to keep going. The pace is good, the line is good. Okay, he's going to be queuing down over the 8, but there's really no problem. Well, theoretically, Stubb could have played his last shot in the match if it all suddenly happens for Cobra. It has to happen, and it has to happen now. It can't happen later. It can't happen any other time. It must happen now. But that's the beauty of winner breaks. And I'm trying not to jinx it. I'm trying to build up the excitement to it. The ball in the shot and the run out. Cobra back to within 2. No room for manoeuvre. Can't afford a dry break in a shot. It has to go. Ball in the break. Cue ball into the table. But the 2 ball is the blocker for the 1. Oh dear, what does he do here? Is he seriously going to line up this 1 and the 2 and gently roll it in? If he does, he'll give it every chance of going in. But you know, I wouldn't want to have to be taking this. And look at where the 3 ball is as well. The 3 ball's pretty much dead in the rail. 5 balls blocking it. Is it worth taking some sort of risk to try and pot this 1? And more to the point, can he take the risk in getting a safety? Can he cut that 1, run the cue ball down and send the 1 across to here? No, he's trying to go to the short rail. Use the 7. How good is it? Let's have a look. Not bad. Who's this VP4 online guy? Where's he appeared from? Well, if ever you want a gift, it's just happened here. I sat in bloody Discord waiting on you and nobody appeared. Anyway, back to more important matters. I'm going to start to get excited in a minute. We've got Cobra with ball in hand, a scratch from Stubb. Cobra looking to deal with this 3 ball. Now, the obvious thing would be leaving himself where he is with the cue ball to run the 2 and try and run into the 3. But there's a lot of ifs and buts and maybes with this shot. But he's going to have to maybe take that risk. I don't think he's got many other alternatives. Honestly, don't know what he's going to plan on doing here, but run into the 3. I can't see other alternatives he could. I mean, he could play a safety. He's trying to get in the gap. What a shot! What a shot to get there. He's found the space that he wanted just to get onto the 3 and no more. And now he has to get the job done. Oh, he's gone straight on this 5. He's just going to have to. He's going to have to nip this a wee bit here. You don't want to be forcing him into these pockets if you can help it, but he's going to have to. Got the big stun, got nicely onto the 6, and now just go right through in the 6 off the end rail back up, and make sure you go high enough. Don't check it out. That'll do. See, that's far better than sitting square in the 7. That's where you want to be. You know, it's not a blind pocket shot, but at least it's not one of those, you know, 45-degree angles that you don't want. That's a perfect angle, because that way you can go into the rail, come out right into the middle of the table on the 8 ball. Not a problem. Let's have a look at how that line looks. Again, that's fine. Straight through onto the end rail and back up, and don't leave it square. It's the simplest shot to play, just a roll through and let it run. And he's back to within 1. Yeah, YouTube's always going to lag a wee bit more compared to Twitch. Well, here we go. Well, this is the most important break since the last most important break in this match for Cobra. This is the one that counts. This, for a breaking run, needs a ball. Something's gone in. Housey's locking the one. Something else has gone in, and he's got a straight in one. That is straight down the barrel pretty much, and the 3 is very adjacent, so he doesn't have a lot to do with the cue ball. Well, now I'm getting excited, folks. This looks a wee bit more ugly when you get right up to it, though. Look at it. This is not nice. It's amazing how good that looked from back there, but see when you get down behind it, this is a little bit dicey. Now he's jacking up to stun this in. He's not wanting to run the cue ball through. Oh, he's got to get this line right. Yeah, he's played the big stun, and now he's in no man's land. It's all about the cut into the middle. I don't believe he's going to take the bank. I think he's looking for the cut and avoiding a hook behind the 8 just so he can roll the 5 in and try and find either a high cut in the 6 or a really, really good shot way to find a gap for the 6, but that's neither here nor there. This is the most important shot here. This is not easy, but like I say, he doesn't really have to concern himself a great deal about position on the 5. He's bound to have some sort of shot. He's played, well, I don't know what he's played there. Somebody tell me he played the bank. But I think one thing's for certain, he may well have played his last shot right there. That was strange. That was like committed neither one way or the other. And somebody can tell me what he did play, because I don't know what he played. Did he try to run it off the 5? I'm totally bewildered. I don't know why he didn't fancy just lining up the cut. I mean, the cut was tight, but anyway, if he did play the bank, then it was his last shot, because Stubb now has the table wide open. Yeah, well, I suppose the other thing is that when you're close to a ball like that, they're not. I don't think they're quite as easy to measure up the banks. When you're a wee bit further back, it's maybe easier to line up the bank. But anyway, well, this ain't over yet till it's over, because this is not where you want to be playing the 7 ball from. Now he could finish bottom side of this 8. Oh, he's hung the 7. And Cobra lives again. Unbelievable. But he shouldn't have been there in the 7 for the start. Well, the only thing that's going to happen now is Cobra's going to scratch up table or something off this 7. I hope he's went down to the pocket and they'll look at it, because he doesn't want to take any liberties here, and he needs to get there. And this is a testy little one, but he's got to be on the 9, and I think he's got to make sure he comes down the right side of this 9 ball if he can. That way he's making sure that he's not coming towards the 9, that he's going away from the 9. Yep, like that. That's perfect. You don't want to be running towards the 9, you want to be running away to the 9, whether it be left or right. And now, well, this is the most important break since the last most important break before that one. It's a final rack decider, folks. It's anybody's game. 18 racks all. And the rack is tilting left. The 1 ball's further left than the 4. And Cobra breaking from his original position where the cue balls appeared. Is it going to work? No, it's not. He's going for the Albinario break. Is there a ball going? No, he's not. He's changed his mind to confuse me even more. He's back to where he was. Oh dear. Well, I think he's hoping he gets lucky. And that's all you can. And again, it's a softish break. The break's died and he's left a one on. Again. I don't know whether he didn't put amp on, and I don't know whether he didn't change the DPI setting in his mouse. But there was no great power in that. And he's left a one on for Stubb. And this is the most important shot in the rack, because if he can get somewhere on this too, he should be out. Oh dear. Well, it's no damage done. Just got to get rolling through. And is it going to be... Well, this is, I suppose, the final nail in the coffin and the ultimate in finishing the match, where it's the story of the match for Cobra. He's broke, he's come up dry, he's left Stubb in the one ball, and Stubb's run out for the match. Well, I'll be able to check the stats in about 10 minutes once I get the email through from Restream. That'll give me my proper total. But don't run away, folks. We've got the stats to have a look at, because I'm pretty certain Stubb has made a big inroad into that deficit he's chasing on Albinario for the racks ran. Well, this is it now. He's got to get around or back, really. I don't know what the angle's like in this 6. Let's have a look. Well, he needs to make sure he avoids a 9. Yeah, he just ran to the rail and across. Well, that was a horrible break, that, for Cobra. I'm not convinced he played that amped up. It just didn't look heavy enough. But the worst way of finishing is how it's happened. He's got himself back all square, and for about the 6th time in the match, his break was dry, the one ball was on, and Stubb has broke and ran. I think he didn't. I think he forgot to do it. Well, Stubb has won through in the end, and really, as I say, Stubb has done what's been asked of him most of the time. When he's been given the chance, he's ran out, and he has sneaked through by the skin of his teeth by 19 racks to 18. Now, Cobra has had his bad match, and it's always good to have your bad match when you've still got a second bite at it. And he will survive to face the winner of Spectre Dawn and Mal, who play on Thursday night at 7:30. Or 7:30 British Summer Time. That'll be 2:30 Eastern Time. Let's have a look at the stats, because I think Stubb has jumped a fair bit up that leaderboard. Well, not that far, but far enough to make a big chunk into Albinario's lead. Let's have a look. Well, if you look now, Albinario's on 43, don't forget. He's on 42 on the screen, but he's got 1 to count from that match against Interchange X. You've got Stubb, who's now shot up to 40, so Stubb has had 10 in that match. Stubb was on 10, tied with Mal, and now Stubb is just 3 racks behind Albinario, and he's bound to do 3 racks in the final. So Stubb is in the final in the race to 25, but who is he going to be playing? It's either going to be one of 3 players. It's going to be Mal, Spectre Dawn, or Cobra, who's now on that one loss side. And if we look at the bracket, we will see that the Mal Spectre Dawn match is set for May the 13th, 7:30 PM. That's Thursday night, British Summer Time, 2:30 Eastern Standard Time, 11:30 Pacific, and I hope you guys can be there. So, Stubb has said he's going to win it. I said before that this is his best chance of winning one of these tournaments when it's 9-ball like this. But Cobra, you've had your bad match. You can bounce back, but you're going to have to do it the hard way. You've still got two tough guys. Spectre Dawn, who's on a mission because he's yet to win one of these big ones. And Mal, who was a favourite from the out, and who Cobra put into the one-loss side. And something's got to give, and that will happen on Thursday night, and I hope you can be there, folks. So till we meet again, thank you for your company. I think it was a pretty good match, we would say. I think we enjoyed it. And take care, and I hope you can join us for the last two matches in this tournament. And until we meet then, I will see you later, folks.